Hey, it's Dr. Amanda with StraightSmile Solutions, StraightSmileSolutions.com, and today we're going to talk about colliding attachments and how to deal with collisions, preventing collisions, what happens if you have a treatment plan that has collisions, or what happens when you have an attachment that breaks off. We're going to cover a lot here, and I actually have all this information in tons of other videos. It's just that I'm kind of bundling it all into one, so I might talk for a while. But if you want me to go more into detail, you can actually go into my channel, my YouTube channel, find that little magnifying glass within my channel, not the overall YouTube, and search up attachments or Invisalign, and I've got hundreds of videos, so you can learn to your heart's content. So anyways, let's talk about, first of all, we're doing a clean check. Get this set up, it's looking great, and there's that dreaded alert that says from the technician, which is a nice courtesy, hey, by the way, there's some colliding attachments. What do you do? First of all, who cares? That's my answer. But oh well. To me, let's talk about why it happens. First of all, a couple reasons. And this happens in braces too, which is why I always recommend, if you are a first of all, if you're an orthodontist, you're probably not watching this video because you probably know all this stuff. So if you're watching this video, you're either a patient or you're a general dentist or you're a pediatric dentist for the most part, I'm guessing, or you're an orthodontist in a foreign country who's still looking to learn, because most American orthodontists know this stuff. But letting you know, first of all, before you do Invisalign and do it well, you have to learn braces. I can't say this enough. You have to learn braces. And I'm not talking about anterior alignment. I'm not going to say the brand names, social sick stuff. No, because that's BS braces. I'm talking about real, comprehensive, straight wire braces. It's not as scary as you think. It's actually really easy. And once you understand the fundamentals of good orthodontics through straight wire, you will understand Invisalign and how to get out of pickles so much better. Your Invisalign clean checks will be a million times better. You won't be so stressed or lost. Anyways, if you want to learn how to do braces, we have a great straight wire course. It's digital, or even better, just work with us one-on-one. Take the digital straight wire course. You can do it home on your own time, and then just start some cases with us, and we will teach you everything you need to know, because you can't always plan it out. You just have to roll with it. Every month when the patient comes in, okay, this happens. You can't always predict what's going to happen, right? Just like you can't have a crystal ball. Anyways, I digress. I don't care where you learn how to do straight wire, just learn to do it. Okay, so let's go back to attachments and collisions. Why are we having collisions? Well, most common reasons is you have a deep bite. So in braces, the right way to fix vertical issues is to open up the bite by leveling the curve of spee and or intruding teeth, anterior teeth. So relative absolute intrusion or relative extrusion. That is the right way to fix a vertical issue in braces. The lazy way to fix vertical issues in braces is what they teach in these short-term ortho courses, is to throw bite bumps on the back teeth. Well, that's lazy. That's a temporary band-aid that doesn't solve the ultimate problem, which is the vertical concern. It's just preventing you from breaking off brackets. And don't get me wrong, we put posterior bite bumps on quite often in ortho, but I would never put it on a deep bite case, because that's just the lazy way of fixing it, right? But if there was like an emergency and the patient kept breaking out of bracket and was going on vacation, yeah, sure, I'd put them on for a month. Okay, anyways, so same issues happen in aligners. We have some attachments. Sometimes we got to have them, especially Invisalign has tons of attachments. Why? Because their material is very flexible and the trim line is very scalloped, which means we have to have attachments on for retention. That's the trade-off. You get a comfortable plastic that's healthy on your teeth and gums, you're going to have attachments. Sorry, but that's just how it is, okay? And if you want to efficiently move a rotated tooth or translate, not tip a tooth, you're going to have attachments, because if you don't have attachments, you're not translating teeth for the most part. Most likely, that's not true. Yes, you can. If you have gaps, I can translate teeth without attachments, but rotations, probably not. If you pull a tooth, probably not. So in any case, that's why you have attachments. So deep bites, it's just going to happen. So what do you need to do? You got to open up the bite. So how do we open up the bite in Invisalign? We use anterior bite ramps, right? We level the curve of spee. We intrude teeth. And then, so initially, if you don't put the bite ramps on, yeah, you're going to be hitting the attachments. So it's an easy fix, right? Actually, in this case that I'm showing here, there was bite ramps. So sometimes, maybe you just have long cusps, especially on the canine, you might hit it. Or maybe you have short clinical crowns, these things happen. So what else are you going to do? Let's say you already have the bite ramps on, or maybe there's too much overjet and the bite ramps aren't engaging yet, right? Well, I have a couple other hacks. One of my other favorite hacks that you probably never ever think about is probably a hack that Invisalign hates, but it really, really works. First of all, it only works if you're doing your case comprehensive. If you're trying to be cheapo and do express or light or go or moderate, it's not going to work. So you have to do comprehensive to get this to work, which is why I tell everyone, do all your cases comprehensive. Your first 100, your first 200, I don't care how many. You will thank me. Don't be cheap, because in the long run, either your cases aren't going to turn out well, you're going to shortchange yourself, the patient's going to get upset, or you're just going to have a bad outcome because you ran out of aligners. So if you do your cases comprehensive, you will not be stressed because you're going to have great outcomes because there's no stress. So what I do in this kind of case where I already did the bite ramps or still hitting the attachments, it's really important. I have to look at this. Obviously any case that has a blue dot, they're telling you it's already a moderately difficult movement. If it's a black dot, it's a very difficult movement. So I don't want to take the attachment off that tooth because I know it's not going to track, right? So, I could go round this tooth out a little bit because it's kind of ugly anyways. Of course, I don't want to ask the patient, but then you'd have to re-scan, right? Because then the aligner's not going to track. It's not going to fit like a glove, right? So, good. If the patient didn't like the shape of this tooth anyways, maybe what I'd do is I have them come back, smooth this tooth out because they're probably going to want it smoothed out anyways, and rescan. Good. Problem solved, right? But that's kind of a hassle, right? That takes an extra month. Patient's probably not happy. Another option you could do in the short term is I call it double it. So double it is one of my favorite fixes. Of course, you have to ask the patient before you do this. But double it is a cool hack. I go and optimize the treatment plan. I make it perfect. I look at it. It's 40 aligners, right? Okay. It was a predictable... And by the way, I double my cases anyways. So if they tell me it's 20, it's 40. Because I don't believe any of their setups. I don't just believe it. I've seen probably 10,000 Invisalign cases in the last 20 years, probably even more than that. I don't even know how many. Ridiculous amounts. And I know what works. And I think they shortchange you on every single treatment plan. Unless you're like Diamond Elite blah blah, where they do a really good job on your treatment plans. If you're low level, this is just my opinion. Again, any opinions that I give you on these things is just my opinion, but it's not only mine, it's many people's opinions. If you look at the average treatment plan of an orthodontist, it is significantly longer than what they initially gave you or what a GP does, because we know what it takes to move teeth. I can look at a case and be like, that's a 12 to 18 month case in braces. So I expect it to be at least 12 months in Invisalign. So 12 months, that's, 50 whatever aligners at least. So yeah, my cases are going to be 50 aligners for the most part, or 40. But we're going to do 1 week changes. And if I double it on top of that for biting on the attachments, guess what? It's now 100. I'm sure Invisalign loves that I tell you all this. But guess what? Vast majority of these cases that I do, they don't need refinements. Haha, if you do this. So you just sail right through. And I'm not saying we're taking 2 years. We are changing trays every 3 to 4 days, twice a week. And we're wearing the aligners while we eat. That's the truth here. Because if you wear the aligners while you eat, you don't knock the attachments off. Hey, that's awesome. Because patients don't want to wear aligners while they eat and change their trays once a week because they get nasty. But they're okay with that every 3 to 4 days. Twice a week, they can handle that. They turn yellow, they get gross. No problem. I'm getting a new one a day later, tomorrow anyway. So who cares, right? And then, you know what? Later, if they're not hitting the attachments anymore, they still can change it twice a week, and they don't have to wear it when they eat. So they only have to wear it when they eat while they feel like they're hitting on the attachments. That's the beautiful part. So really, really cool hack that Invisalign probably hates, but guess what? You're going to have a way better outcome, less frustration, a not mad patient, less refinements for you, less chair time for you, like I mentioned, happy patient, and your patient is going to brag all about you because they're going to say, hey, my doctor lets me change my trays twice a week. Well, their friend is saying, I change my clear correct every 14 days, and it's disgusting. And guess what? Just your patient bragging on you about that is going to get you patients in the chair. You will literally get referrals just on that. And I guarantee you, when the patients take their tray out at work or at school or whatever, their friends ask, how often do you change? Your aligners look super clean. Oh yeah, I change mine twice a week. Aha. So anyways, that's my hack for you. So double it, wear aligners while you eat, or shoot, just let it break off and deal with it in a refinement later as the bite opens up. Put bite ramps on. You know, you can give the patient options, but I mean, it's better to give the patient options before you approve the ClinCheck, because I feel like if you let the patient weigh in on that kind of small detail that could, I mean, it doesn't matter to me how you want to do it, it's going to work out well no matter what, then they feel like they have more control. Now, what you don't want is you don't want to do a treatment plan knowing the attachment is going to fall out and the patient's going to get mad and you didn't bring it up before or anything like that. So at least you gave them the option, hey, we know this is going to happen. It's going to be an issue. You're either going to have to eat all the soft foods, or we can have you change your trays more often, but you're going to have to wear your trays while you eat. Which one would you prefer? Let them control. Let them have some say. Anyways, hopefully that was helpful. Thank you.